And with that, welcome to this stream. Hello and good evening. We are at the Marble GP of Christmas Island. You see the track that we built a few months ago, and this will be the location for the final race of season 4 in my marble racing series. Yeah, the track, as you see, in the middle of the garden map with a bit of winter themed decoration and very heavy snowfall, I must say. I can't remember, or I couldn't remember before I loaded into the track, that I set the snowfall this heavy. But okay, that's where we are. One final race to determine who will win this league, which individual marble, which team will win the team championship, and which teams will be relegated to the sprint playoffs. Just changing the marble spawner to the white one that we usually use for this stream, not for the stream, but for these races. Check the last few necessary settings, load in the marbles, and after a quick check, we can set the laps, which will be 20 laps for this race. And then, with all further ado, let's get into the race then. Five red lights are out and we are racing for the season finale in Marble Race Season 4. Early lead for Gleam. Now the first few obstacles, and we can see a bit of a problem occurring here, and that is huge for the championship. We have Telly, Eric in their Citroën. All eyes on the marbles that are still racing for the championship. This is a disaster for them. But the race is still continuing, of course. As they head up for the lift for the first time, you can see a few marbles gaining the shortcut in the middle. Dinky taking the lead on lap 1, closely followed by Gus, Resi, Rose and Flake. Those are the top 5. Oh, and Shaw getting stuck on the split section here, on the edge of the track. And yeah, this of course here is an absolute disaster. Telly and Eric up front on this pack here, both of them still in the shot of the championship. So this is horrible as well. Pepper and Leaf also getting stuck here, so we have some early drama in the race. And we have not even finished lap 1 of 20. Dinky and Gust coming through to finish lap 1 in sub 2 minutes. Little twitch of the camera there. So what do these marbles do now? Do they free the other ones? Doesn't seem like it. Oh, Tile getting stuck. No. Oh, that is a disaster. Oh, that is a disaster. Oh dear. More marbles getting stuck here. And what drama, we have Bumble also in the title fight still. Can't manage to free themselves. Oh dear. So about 20 marbles stuck on the opening 1.5 laps already. But as racers we must move on, and Dinky must defend first position. Which they do so far. Dinky and teammate Rose completely out of title contention, as well as the team, the Pink Panthers, in no danger of being relegated. So this race for them, just some sort of showcase race to prepare for the next season, which will happen after the sprint playoffs. But in order to do these sprint playoffs, we must determine the teams of this season which will compete in the sprint playoffs. The bottom 10 teams will compete, I should say. And Violet has taken over the lead from Dinky. Violet, of course, part of the Purple Hazers, who are in great danger of being eliminated and relegated to the playoffs. With a few marbles freeing themselves, but of course our lap down stem now getting stuck for the Grasshoppers, who are already eliminated of the season. They will join the sprint playoffs and will have to qualify for next season. Spectrum falling off, that is not good for the Rainbow Rushers, who are also in big danger of being eliminated or relegated. But up front, Croc and Vane will probably by the looks of it determine the champion of season 4. Croc currently in 3rd position, leading the championship, remember. Now going up to 2nd, chasing Violet, having a run on Violet but getting stuck on the wall. Croc 31 points ahead of Vane in the championship. And currently looking on to a comfortable win of the championship if Vane or Limeline in P11 don't have anything to say against it. Limeline 9 points behind Croc in the championship, but P11 currently. Vane up to P3 on the ladder, but has lost out to Ivar, Flake and Rose. Ivar a lap down, we should say. As the marbles finalize lap 3, Croc still in 2nd position. Violet in 1st, as Croc makes a mistake in turn 1, loses out a few positions but gets back on Vane. Heat getting stuck behind Stem. Yeah, it doesn't look like that this gaggle of marbles will be freed anytime soon, and even if they will, they probably won't be able to make up any more positions since they are already 3 laps down. So it's a disaster for the championship contenders in this bunch of marbles. Eric and Telly. Eric, of course, season 1 champion, was looking to be the first member to win 2 separate seasons, 2 separate championships. This will not happen tonight. Flake has taken the lead, closely followed by who's in 2nd. Croc is still in 2nd. The others in between, Chiquita, Feather, Gleam, Ivar, all a lap down, at least 1 lap. We've lost 1 marble out of the track with Spectrum and have about 10-15 marbles stuck here after, what's the turn 2, turn 4, after turn 4. So, for the championship, Croc still in 2nd position, side by side with Flake, and is now taken over 1st. That would be quite insane if Croc can manage to seal the championship while currently leading the championship and still winning the race, which would also seal the team championship for the Red Roosters, even so Ginger, I think, is one of the marbles stuck here. Yes, Ginger is stuck here. But Hemo as well, so even the Bloodlines in P2 and the Honeybees in P3 with blue, they have at least one marble stuck here, as well as P4, the Bronze Vikings with Eric. So the team championship will come down to the individual marbles, Croc, Rain, Ivar, although Ivar is a lap down. As the race leader, Croc is on his way up the lift. Here on lap 5 taking the left route, Flake taking the right route. How can anyone get the shortcut in the middle? Doesn't seem like it. Cosmo South on the two Midnight Express marbles. Also, as we can see with Cosmo here, the Candy Canes, one of the other parts of the track where you can get stuck and lose valuable time. But no problem so far for Croc, still in the lead as they try to finish the first quarter of the race. Lap 5, side by side with the lap marble, Gleam. The first real marble contending for the win is Flake in P2 and then Vane in P3, still with an outside chance of the championship win. Croc and Gleam getting stuck in the wall, freeing themselves, finishing lap 5, getting a good run through turn 2. Giving Heat a little bump as well as every other marble that's passing here. No marble able to free them. Dashi for the Rainbow Rushers, trying to somehow get their team out of the sprint playoffs and into safe qualification for the next normal race season, season 5. Croc brilliantly getting through the Candy Cane section of the track. Dashi coming through, losing out a few places to Admiral, Mutt and Rose. And Pepper. Rain losing out as well, not good for the championship, while Croc still at the front. Mini getting stuck as well. Not that it matters, because the Golden Gooses, the Season 2 team champions, already mathematically not able to get out of the sprint playoffs, so they will be relegated to the playoffs and will have to make a comeback in those playoffs in order to compete in Season 5. We see in the background India off the track, eliminated. Where's the teammate? Blue P19 currently for the Indigos. We're still in P26 in the team championship, so facing relegation as well. Remember, the bottom 10 teams will go into a sprint playoffs, so the teams with the lowest score of them all in all 40 races. While Flake has taken over the lead from Cock, but still though, side by side on the lift up to the final section of the lap as they finish lap 7. And what a story this would be for Cock. The new team in the season, the Red Roosters, one of 5 teams debuting this season, already celebrating huge success throughout the season, and it could be well coronated with a championship win in both the individual and the team championships, which would be probably the most insane story of the whole Marble Race series after 4 seasons. A debuting team clinching both championships, and yeah, about 20 seconds through lap 8, it's looking exactly like that. As Admiral frees many marbles, Ringy, Gleam, Lyman also in the championship, but is lost out I think for 2 laps time now, and so will still be out of championship contention. Iowa left marble making the way through the candy cans. Mercury also left. After Mercury comes Flake and then Cock, the top 2 in the race currently. Flake having a rough time, Cock as well. Chiquita, Leaf and Feather closely following. And then Vane in what's effectively now P3, overtaking Mutt and Rose, but Rose coming back, taking back P3. Up front, Flake following Mercury. Entering the lift in P1. Vane overtaking Rose again. Hot on the heels of Admiral, who's a lap marble, remember? Flake still holding on to the lead, overtaking Mercury, who's a bit off in the rain now of Flake. Also having a bad entry to the lift, as well as Cock. They also have a bad entry, which allows Vane to catch up. Currently P3. 33 points, I think it was. Deficit in the championship to Cock currently. 31 points, sorry. Taking the left route, as well as Vane having a bit of trouble, getting overtaken by Rose. And so this race goes on and progresses. Getting a nice overview of the heavy snowfall, ideally merging visually with the marbles racing on the track, surrounding the big snowman, who watches probably one of his favorite marbles of the snowballs, Flake, currently leading the Marble GP of Christmas Island. Now about to enter lap 10 of 20, almost at half time already. Chiquita bumping into Vane, sending them a bit forward. Still in P3 Vane, but looks like they're catching up to Croc. Croc taking the right part of the track this time. Flake sticking to the left as almost every lap, but again gets caught up in the candy canes. Oh, but Croc does too, and even heavier, but has a good exit. Still a lot of ground to make up, and Vane is challenging Croc, it seems like. At the end of the first half of this race, this final race of the season, Vane is trying to catch up to P2 Croc, the current championship leader and favorite to win it, who himself catches up to Flake in P1. So we have the top three covered by about 10 lift steps. As Flakes still trying to get into the slipstream of the lap marble, Mercury. Entering the final few corners of the lap, the first half of the race is done in this moment. Croc again getting a bit of space between them and Vane in P3, but getting caught on the wall here. Very slow entry into turn 3 and 4. Getting caught up in the present as well, bumping into Velvet. Limeland stuck again. What drama this is. And again having a bad exit of the 90-degree corner, which makes them slow for the entire straight. Vane getting challenged by Rose coming onto the escalator, and they are side by side as Flake exits the escalator. On the right side this time, and they get a good launch of the candy canes. What does Croc do? Also on the right side. Yes, what a launch. Very well done. Now can Vane get behind them again? No, doesn't seem like it. Losing a lot of ground. But keeping third place. Ahead of new fourth place Pod for the Vanilla Lakes, who are very well safe from relegation. Also their debut season, season 4, as well as for the Red Roosters and the Dirty Douches, Mutt and P7. However, they have a slight remaining chance of getting knocked down into the bottom 10, but with Mutt and P7 getting some solid points currently, they look as though they can plan for another season in the Marble Race series. Shaw getting caught up behind Velvet and Limeline, getting bumped by Croc and P2, who has once again started to close the gap to Flake and P1, getting a much better exit out of this turn now before the elevator. Oh, but the launch isn't good, the entry isn't good. Oh, Blue getting caught on the bunch of marbles. That's not good for the Indigos. What can they do? We see Flame P18, Ceres and Violet P20. That's what you can see on the leaderboard. Remember, the top 25 score points. And we have Heat in what I think would be P21, and after that I think we have Lap Marble, which would be Dashi, Mercury and Ivar, P22 to 24. Pod has taken the lead of Flake. Croc is in P6. What has happened? Croc is in P6. Vane P3. 31 points the deficit. P5 now for Cog, as they overtake Resi of the Magenta Maniacs. But what has happened to Cog in P5? P5 still 33 points on the board, so no worries for now. But we still have 8 laps as Pot enters lap 13. Flake in second, Vayne in third. If Vayne finishes P3, but they are now in P2. If Vayne finishes P2, they get 45 points. So Cog would need then 45 minus 31 would need 14 points in order to tie, but they have more wins in the season, I think. So on countback they would win the tiebreaker. And 14 points would be P13. So if Vayne finishes second, Cog needs a minimum of P13. Currently occupied by Cloud as Resi tumbles down the order because they are stuck behind Stem. So the new P13 is now Starstruck, who is well behind Cog. More than one whole elevator height. And getting a bad exit of the crossroads. P4 currently. Behind Flake on the leaderboard, behind Admiral on the track. Still looking for a solid championship win so far. What happens in the final 7 and a bit laps? Pot entering first, followed by Velvet, who is a lap down, but maybe can help the teammate defend from other marbles behind. Pot making a safe exit from the escalator, followed by Velvet, Vayne and Feather. Cog in P4 again. Lap 14 it is. 14.4 seconds. Cog is behind the race leader Pot. Mud in P6, Rose, Tarzan, Fresh, Cloud and Gunge. Followed by Dusty. Dusty and Violet, the purple hazers, both in the points currently. They both need to score big time in order to get out of the bottom 5 at least, because then it will be dependent on who are the bottom 5 individual marbles. But don't be one of the bottom 5 teams in standings after this race if you want to have a slight chance of securing a drive for next season. Pot still in the lead, followed by teammate Velvet, fending off marbles left, right and center. Limelight, Hemo, all lap marbles. We have Vayne in P2, followed by Flake in P3, Cog in P4. P13 it would be. If Vayne would finish the race actually, they would score 50 points, so Cog would need 19 points to tie. There's no place that gives you 19 points, but you get 20 points for P10. So P10 would ideally be the place that Cog would need to aspire. P10 currently held by Cosmo directly behind his teammate Starstruck in P9 and 10, but now Dusty in P10. They are a long way behind Cog, so Cog currently in a very safe championship winning margin. As Tarzan and Mud get freed from the gaggle of marbles here. We look to the front, we see Port and P1 managing the candy canes. We see Ivar on the track behind Port, a lap down, but already, as you can see on the leaderboard, P18. So Port has lapped everyone up to P17, now P18, because Ivar has unlapped themselves. So the top 18 in the lead lap, the only marbles left on the lead lap. Which would mean that Stem, now having exited the escalator, would be 2 laps down even, because they are not listed in front of Ivar, who is a lap down. Vane in second, Flake, Cock, close follower. Salt in P5 ahead of Rose. Lap 16 it is, 3/4 of the way through of this final race of the season. And what now looks to be a rather safe championship for now, unless Cock completely stuffs up the final 5 laps, which we will not hope for their sake. Vane rounding the final turn for the escalator, closely following Port, which would be 5 more points just in case Cock does a big mistake. Getting caught in the crossroads. Port through the candy canes. Vane entering the candy canes, getting stuck multiple times, but having a good exit as well. Flake getting stuck. Flake is getting stuck. Are they getting freed? Yes, they are. Flake managing P3. Salt in P4 very close behind, as well as Cock in P5. So P3, 4 and 5 very close together. And Vane is only 5 steps on the escalator behind Port for P1, that would be. But this is where Cock needs to be careful, because once you are in these piles of marbles, it's very easy to lose multiple positions in very short time. Whereas P10 Starstruck is entering the escalator, which Cock just exits, but this is the short escalator, so the gap from Cock to P10 has been diminished. And this is what I mean. Cock now stuck behind Shore, a lap marble, now overtaken by Blue, also lap marble, P5. Oh, Cosmo in P6 getting stuck. This is good news for Cock. Mud going through, Starstruck now P9, Dusty P10. That's the amount of points they need. And the new P10 must be fresh then, for the Minty Miners, who are also rather safe, not completely safe, but rather safe for next season. Flake going through the candy canes. Vane is very close to Port. This is for the race win, for the final chance of scoring a win for Vane and possibly the championship, but Cock has now overtaken Salt for P4. Now behind championship rival Limelight, but of course a lap down and even overtaken now. Three laps remaining after this one. Out of the track, we have only lost India and Spectrum so far. We've had a gaggle of marbles being stuck right at the first lap. A bit reminding of the Marble GP of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where we also had a big pile up on the start-finish straight, eliminating many marbles. And Vane has overtaken Pod for P1. Vane is in P1, 50 points currently for Vane. Cock in P4, this would be 36 points. So a deficit of 14 with an advantage of 31 going into this race. If Vane finishes P1, Cock needs P10 or better to secure the championship. P10 is currently Sirius, who is now just entering and is getting stuck, but is being freed by heat. Yeah, Cock has a massive advantage over P10, but we have seen 2 marbles already falling off, so nothing is impossible. On the other hand, if Cock does fall off the track, which we will not hope for him, Vane needs at least 32 points, which will be 33, because 33 points is P5. So if Cock somehow falls off the track, Vane needs P5 in order to win the championship. It's those two at the moment. And no other marble still in contention for the championship is able to contend for it. And what a tragic story this would be for Vane. So close to the championship in Season 1, going into the final race, level on points with Dusty, and both of them losing out to Eric on the final race of the season, and thus losing the championship. And Vane is getting stuck. Will they be freed? Yes, they will be, but they lose first position. Flake P3, closely followed by a Cock. Cock will not get stuck. This would be another turn of events if Cock somehow manages to be stuck now on what would be the final lap only. Only once they have to clear this bunch of marbles that have been getting stuck on lap 1. Sirius still in P9, Flame in P10, and they are nearly being lapped by the leaders. Pod is in P1, Vane is in P2, Cock now P3. What a way to end the championship on the podium, to clinch the championship, not only for them but also for the Red Roosters in the team championship. They are 28 points clear of the bloodlines. Vane fighting for 2 championships, but probably losing both, unless something ridiculous happens on these last few corners or the final lap of the race of the season. Pod in P1, leaving the escalator. Vane in the middle of a giant cluster of marbles, Feather, Bumble, Tidal, Buzz. Pod getting held up by Pepper, entering the final lap. Oh, Pod has a very bad entry to the corner, but so does Vane. Cock P3, 6.7 behind. Vane is through. Chiquita getting stuck. And Cock clearing the marbles. Cock has cleared the marbles, is in P3, and now has free air in front to clinch the title in Season 4, in debut season. Vane and Pod side by side for the lead of the race. If not for the championship, then just for prestige. Taking opposite path of the crossroads, entering nearly side by side into the candy cane section. Vane exiting in P1. Pot with a bit of problems with Nougat and Feather, but still the Marble on track behind Vane in P1. Where's Vane? There's Vane. Cock in P4, having lost out the podium positions to Gunge, also fighting against relegation. But now, Vane in P1 have done everything they needed to do, but it won't be enough, I think. Vane has won the race. Pot in second. And we wait now for the champion of Season 4. Congratulations to Cock for the Red Roosters winning the championship in Season 4. Congratulations. Gunge in P4, Salt P5, Starstruck with a brilliant P6 ahead of Flake, who was leading the race for much time actually. Dusty PA, that's what they need. We'll have a look what this means for the championship in a few moments once every marble that's still racing has finished. A few still on the escalator. Heat now ending their race. Heavy and Flame still fighting for P9, that is. Mandarin and Velvet, neither of them in P11 respectively, because there's Fresh and Feather in P11, 12, Rose 13, Ringy getting stuck, Sirius is there on the floor, so that means the top 13 are in the lead lap. Everyone beneath P13 has been lapped at least once. Heavy securing P9 of the race, Flame in P10. We are waiting now Fresh and Feather with Rose in P13 closing out the race after Buzz, who is lapped. 1 minute 59 the difference for Rose behind Vane, and I think no marble is racing anymore. We can end the race. Congratulations to Vane for winning the race, to Pot for finishing on the podium, and to Cock for securing another podium as well as the championship in Season 4. And this is where I will end the stream. We will see the championship standings, the final standings of the season, right after the stream. I will edit it for the YouTube video, and you will see then afterwards which marble teams have been relegated to the playoffs. But now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this stream, and yeah, maybe we'll see for the sprint playoffs. Maybe I will stream them on Twitch live as well. Haven't decided yet. But for now, thanks for watching. Have a very fine evening and see ya.